What you're about to see will make your blood boil and question everything you thought you knew about WWE's so-called safety protocols backstage. Bronson Reed just crossed a line that no superstar should ever cross, and WWE management is sitting there doing absolutely nothing about it. This isn't just another backstage altercation, this is a calculated, vicious assault that could have ended Seth Rollins' career permanently, and I'm about to expose every disgusting detail that WWE doesn't want you to know. The Australian monster known as Bronson Reed has officially declared war on the WWE World Champion Seth Rollins, but not in the ring where it belongs, no. This coward waited until Seth was completely vulnerable backstage, defenseless and unsuspecting, to launch what can only be described as the most brutal sneak attack in recent WWE history. And here's what's going to make you absolutely furious: WWE officials were standing right there watching it happen and did nothing to stop it. Picture this scene that unfolded just hours ago. Seth Rollins, fresh off defending his WWE Championship in what many are calling one of the greatest matches of his career, was walking through the backstage area greeting fans and signing autographs like the champion we all respect him to be. The man had just given everything he had in that ring, his body was exhausted, his guard was completely down, and that's when Bronson Reed struck like the opportunistic predator he truly is. Without any warning, without any provocation, Reed came charging through the backstage area like an absolute maniac and leveled Seth Rollins with a devastating clothesline that sent the champion crashing into concrete walls. But that was just the beginning of this nightmare. Reed wasn't satisfied with just knocking down our champion. Oh no, this monster proceeded to grab Seth by the throat and launch him headfirst into a steel equipment crate with such force that the entire production crew stopped what they were doing in complete shock. The sound of Seth's body hitting that steel was so sickening that several backstage personnel actually turned away in disgust. But Reed wasn't finished destroying our WWE champion. He grabbed Seth's championship belt, the WWE Championship, and raised it above his head while Seth was lying there potentially seriously injured. The disrespect. The absolute audacity of this man to put his hands on championship gold that he has never earned and will never deserve. Here's where this gets even more infuriating. Multiple WWE officials rushed to the scene, but instead of immediately checking on Seth's condition or calling for medical attention, they were more concerned about containing the situation and keeping cameras away. They were literally protecting Reed from facing consequences for what could be considered assault. This is the same company that preaches about respect and sportsmanship but allows a 330-pound monster to blindside attack their own world champion. Seth Rollins was barely conscious when medical personnel finally arrived, and what did Reed do? He stood over Seth's motionless body and cut a promo about how the reign of the pretender is over and the real monster has arrived to claim what's rightfully his. This man attacked an injured champion and then had the nerve to cut a promo while Seth was potentially seriously hurt. Where is WWE's moral compass? Where is their sense of basic human decency? But wait, it gets worse. Sources backstage are telling me that this attack wasn't spontaneous, it was planned. Bronson Reed had been stalking Seth Rollins for weeks, studying his routine, learning when he would be most vulnerable, waiting for the perfect moment to strike like a coward. This wasn't a heat-of-the-moment confrontation between two competitors, this was a premeditated assault designed to injure and humiliate the WWE champion. The medical report I've obtained shows that Seth suffered potential concussion symptoms, severe bruising to his ribs, and what doctors are calling significant trauma to his back and neck area. This man could have been paralyzed. His career could have been ended by Reed's reckless and completely unprofessional attack. And WWE's response? They're treating it like it's just another storyline. They're more concerned about protecting their image than protecting their champion. What makes this entire situation even more disgusting is Reed's complete lack of remorse. In interviews following the attack, he's been laughing about what he did. He called Seth weak and unworthy of being champion. He said the attack was just a preview of what he plans to do when he gets his hands on the WWE Championship. This man is celebrating potentially ending another human being's career. The wrestling community is absolutely divided over this incident, and honestly, the division is making me sick to my stomach. How can anyone defend what Bronson Reed did? How can people be saying Seth deserved it or that it was good for business? When did we become so bloodthirsty that we celebrate actual violence against our champions? Here's what really happened behind the scenes that WWE doesn't want you to know. Reed's contract negotiations have been stalled for months because he's been demanding main event money without proving he deserves main event status. He's been frustrated watching other superstars get title opportunities while he's stuck in mid-card purgatory, so he decided to force his way into championship conversations by literally attacking the champion. This is the behavior of a desperate man who knows he can't earn opportunities the right way, so he's resorting to criminal behavior to get attention. And the worst part? It's working. WWE Creative is already discussing how to capitalize on this attack by giving Reed exactly what he wanted: a championship match against Seth Rollins. They're literally rewarding attempted assault with a title shot. The backstage footage that WWE is refusing to release shows Reed planning this attack with suspicious individuals who aren't even WWE employees. There are rumors that outside parties influenced Reed's decision to attack Seth, possibly trying to manipulate championship outcomes for gambling purposes. If this is true, we're looking at potential corruption that goes way beyond just one angry superstar. Seth Rollins' family received death threats following Reed's attack. His wife and children are being harassed by Reed's supporters who think the attack was justified. This has gone beyond professional wrestling into real-life harassment and intimidation. Where does WWE draw the line? When do they say enough is enough and actually protect their talent? The most disturbing part of this entire situation is how WWE management has been completely silent about holding Reed accountable. No fines, no suspensions, no consequences whatsoever. They're sending a message to every superstar in that locker room that unprovoked attacks on champions are not only acceptable but will be rewarded with championship opportunities. What happens when other superstars start following Reed's example? What happens when attacking champions backstage becomes the new norm for earning title shots? WWE is setting a dangerous precedent that could literally destroy the integrity of professional wrestling as we know it. The truth that WWE doesn't want you to hear is that Reed's attack has created a climate of fear backstage. Superstars are now traveling with security, looking over their shoulders, afraid they might be next. The locker room culture has been poisoned by Reed's actions, and WWE management's refusal to take strong action is making everything worse. This attack represents everything that's wrong with modern WWE. They prioritize shock value and controversy over the safety and well-being of their performers. They're willing to sacrifice their own champion's health for temporary ratings boosts and social media buzz. It's disgusting, it's irresponsible, and it needs to stop. Seth Rollins deserves better than this. He's been one of WWE's most loyal and hard-working champions, and this is how they repay him? By allowing him to be brutalized by a jealous, unstable competitor who can't earn opportunities through talent alone? The man has carried this company through some of its darkest periods, and now he's being sacrificed for storyline purposes. The fan reaction to this attack should tell WWE everything they need to know about how wrong this is. Real wrestling fans are disgusted by what Reed did. We want to see championships earned through skill, determination, and respect for the business, not through cowardly attacks on unsuspecting champions. Reed's actions are an insult to every legitimate contender waiting for their opportunity. Moving forward, WWE needs to make this right. They need to strip any championship opportunities from Bronson Reed, suspend him indefinitely, and implement stronger security measures to protect their talent. They need to send a clear message that this behavior will never be tolerated again. The integrity of the WWE Championship depends on it. But here's what I think will actually happen: WWE will do absolutely nothing meaningful to punish Reed. They'll book him in a championship match, and they'll pretend this attack was just good storytelling. They'll sacrifice Seth Rollins' dignity and safety for temporary entertainment value, and they'll expect us to just accept it. This is why the wrestling industry needs independent voices like ours to hold these companies accountable. WWE won't police themselves, so it's up to us, the fans, the media, the wrestling community, to demand better. We cannot let Bronson Reed's cowardly attack go unpunished. We cannot let WWE normalize violence against champions. The question now is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to accept this as just entertainment, or are you going to demand that WWE treat their champions with the respect they deserve? The future of championship integrity in WWE depends on how we respond to this disgraceful attack right now.